Hey, Kevin here again, and I'm here to answer some of the most common questions I've got from a couple of my videos with this Alesis Nitro Mesh kit. It's really been a fantastic buy. I bought it at the beginning of the pandemic for something to do around the house before I could put my big acoustic set back together. Check out a couple of those videos if you want. Give my acoustic playing some love. That would be fantastic. But when I posted a couple of my videos, first of all, that rock and roll band video, I actually tossed that up just for a couple of friends to see, and now I have more views than I could have ever expected to have with that. So thank you very much for enjoying what that song did, and hopefully what this Alesis Nitro Mesh could do. That's what gave me the idea to go ahead and record the Instamatic video after I'd made some more changes to this kit. So what we'll do today is we'll take a look at those changes I made to the kit, how I've made the kit expand beyond what it usually would do based on what it shows on the box, and a few other questions that people have asked me in the comments. So if you have any other comments and questions, please drop them in. I'll take a look at them. I really love to answer everything that people put out there, and if it gives me an idea for something else that you want to see, hopefully I can get around to it. It's busy life, busy days, but I like doing this, and hopefully you enjoy it too. So, first, this kit is sold as a 5-piece kit, and if you take a look at the module back itself, you also see that there's an additional port for a tom, an additional port for a cymbal, and they do sell an expansion kit to go with this Alesis Nitro Mesh, so that you can buy from Alesis the 2 pieces, the clamps, all that stuff, and can attach it to this drum and fill in those ports. And if you do that, then you end up with 4 toms and 3 cymbals. But as you can see from this overhead shot of my kit now, you see I've gone a little bit beyond that. And people have asked, how did you do that? So a couple of ways to take a look at this. First thing you really need to find out, and I'll put a link in the description, is that this module is kind of a generic module, as many things are nowadays. It's made overseas, and then different vendors put their name on it. This one is obviously popular with the Alesis, but there's a secret manual that has a little bit more detail in it than the Alesis manual did, and I'll put a link down below, like I said. That will really give you all the different parameters and module pieces that are in this kit. It can really help you with your programming when you're trying to do something different with this kit. The real trick to figuring out how you can expand this kit beyond what it looks like in the box is really taking a look at the snare pad that comes with the kit. The snare pad, or snare pad, because it could be any pad, is a dual trigger pad. It's got a mesh head trigger and a rim trigger, right? Makes sense. Rim shots, cross shots on a snare drum pad. And if you watch my rock and roll band video, you'll notice that in that video, before I expanded this kit even further, I took the snare pad and actually moved it up into the tom location up in the top right, and then I mapped the rim of that pad to the ride cymbal. So in effect, it gave me an extra cymbal pad for this kit. And I moved the tom pad down to the snare location, and I lost the ability to use the rim on that drum. It just had a straight snare drum sound on it. But up top, I could play the ride cymbal on the rim and then play the tom on that position down below. And all I had to do was remap in the software which MIDI notes it was pulling on this. I should note that when I play this Alesis Nitro Mesh, I do not use the built-in sounds on the brain. I know there are some videos out there, people showing you all the things you can do in there. And it's got a few good sounds in there. I actually really like the ride. There's a ride cymbal that I like that has a velocity-sensitive bell. So as you play it a little harder, you start to ride up into the bell, which I like. And snare and some of the auxiliary percussion, but I'm not a huge fan of the toms that are built into the systems, just not for me. So I use some various things on my Mac, which I'll show later on in a different video, to trigger via MIDI. But what I found is that rim was awfully hard It's really loud in the room. Kind of defeats the purpose of playing an electronic drum kit where you kind of keep the volume down. It was really loud, harsh, hard, and when you're playing a lot of notes on it like a ride cymbal would be, it wasn't the greatest experience. So I spent some more money on eBay finding some parts online, and expanded the kit to what you would see in the Instamatic video that I have up and running. I'll put a link to this. And you can see at that point, I've now have 1, 2, 3, 4 cymbal pads plus the hi-hat. And then I've got 5 tom pads going across the kit. So the trick was noticing that I could take that snare pad, that dual zone pad, and move it to another location and program stuff. Got me to think, wait a second, why is that possible? And the trick is, the hint is, take a look at the input jack that goes into all of your tom and snare mounts. Here, let me show you a close-up of it. All right, so I'm just going to reach down in behind here. I'm going to pull out the stock pad, and I hope you can see this, but it's a stereo TRS plug. It's a stereo plug. Why is it a stereo plug? Well, it's a stereo plug because every one of these pads is capable of doing a head sound and a rim sound. It just is, with this kit, when it comes to you, the only pad that has dual trigger is the one they sell as the snare drum pad. So your rim trigger is going wasted. If you take this cable and split it, like I've done over here, and you can see this cable here, it says, this one says tip, and there's one on the other side that says ring, because I have a splitter that basically takes this stereo connection and splits it into the tip and the ring, the left and the right if it was stereo. Each one of those is the pad and the rim. And now what I can do with that is I can program those 2 separated ports into any MIDI trigger that I want. And that is how we get to the state that we're in on this kit, which is way more drums that comes out of the box with the Alesis. So that's how I took this Alesis Nitro Mesh kit from its 5-piece origins to this expanded kit that you see here. It's really just a matter of taking a look at the cables that are coming out of it and the programming on it and realizing, I can do more with this than just what came out of the box. I'll go over in more detail how I program each one of the pads, but the short version is that for every drum that's dual trigger, you have settings for the pad and you have settings for the rim. And while the rim settings have 1 or 2 less options, there's more than enough setting there to get yourself so that the sensitivity and the thresholds and all the things that you need to do to get the kit to act dynamically for your needs, you can do pretty well with this. It's just a matter of remembering sometimes, oh, I'm working on the pad, and sometimes I'm working on the rim settings in the settings on the module. I hope you find this helpful, and I'm going to end this video with just playing a little bit through MainStage on my Mac, using some of the sounds that come with the MainStage today to just kind of show the sort of dynamics that you can get with this kit and some of the palette you can get with the full expanded kit. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for continuing to watch some of my videos. It's crazy to me that a couple of videos I put up have over 20,000 views. I never thought that was even possible, considering why I did it. Check out a couple of my other videos on my acoustic kit. I'm hoping later on this summer to build a brand new drum room for all that, and probably will take videos of that and document that process, because I really do miss playing my acoustic kit. I really love acoustic kits, but this kit has been a hoot. It's been one of the highlights of pandemic life for me. giving me something to get back into playing even when the family's sleeping, as it is right now at 11:30 at night here. So I hope that if you have one or you're thinking of buying one, it gives you joy as well. I'll see you soon. Thank you.